A lone brown horse, wild and untamed, galloping across the vast American West. But what if I told you this majestic creature would soon become an unlikely hero in a tale of friendship? Courage and unexpected kindness. Quiet morning dawned in the American West. The sun's gentle rays lifted the thin veil of mist from the pine forest, revealing a landscape of untamed beauty. The wind whispered across the prairie, carrying with it the promise of adventure. Suddenly, a piercing whinny split the silence, echoing through the air. A young brown Mustang, his coat gleaming like polished mahogany, struggled against a rope that cruelly bound him to a tree. His eyes, wide and wild, burned with fear as he caught sight of a pack of wolves approaching. The alpha wolf, a magnificent creature with silver-tipped fur, stepped forward slowly. The Mustang's muscles tensed, ready to fight or flee. But instead of lunging at its prey, the wolf did something extraordinary. It lowered its head and, with careful precision, began to bite through the rope, digging into the colt's neck. With sharp tugs, the fibers snapped one by one. The young horse stood trembling, his breath coming in ragged gasps, as he realized he was free. Yet instead of bolting, he looked at the wolves with a gaze caught between fear and gratitude. The pack slipped away into the shadows, leaving behind an unexpected gift, life itself. Days passed, and the young Mustang wandered across the prairie, his hooves carrying him far from the place of his near-death experience. Fate led him to a small farm at the edge of the vast grasslands. On the porch of a weathered farmhouse sat a girl named Anna, confined to an old wheelchair. Her legs, once full of energy and life, had been paralyzed in a tragic accident. But as her eyes fell upon the stray horse, thin, battered, yet still radiating wild strength, they lit up with a spark of hope and wonder. The Mustang's ears flicked nervously as he regarded the strange human before him. Anna, sensing his wariness, slowly reached out her hand. In it, she held a bright orange keratin offering of peace. There were no reins, no whip, only kindness in her gesture. The horse hesitated, his nostrils flaring as he caught the scent of the treat. Then, step by cautious step, he approached. His trembling lips brushed against the gift, accepting it along with the unspoken promise of friendship. From that moment on, he had a name, Storm. As days turned into weeks, Storm became Anna's constant companion. Though she could no longer run through fields or jump over fences with Storm by her side, Anna felt a new kind of freedom. Each afternoon, her father would gently lift her from her wheelchair and place her in a small cart hitched to the Mustang. Storm, ever patient and gentle, would trot across the sun-drenched fields, his hooves drumming a steady rhythm against the earth. Wind streamed through Anna's hair as they moved, and she would spread her arms wide, feeling as if she were flying. The townsfolk soon began to whisper about the wonder they witnessed daily. A wild horse, once spared by wolves, now serving as the legs of a child who could not walk. Storm and Anna had become two halves of a whole, each giving the other a precious gift. For Storm, it was a home and a purpose. For Anna, it was the return of her wings, allowing her spirit to soar once more. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Storm seemed to understand Anna's needs instinctively, slowing his pace when the terrain grew rough, or gently nuzzling her hand when she felt sad. And Anna, in turn, showered the Mustang with love and care, brushing his coat until it shone and speaking to him in soft, soothing tones. One evening, as the sun bled red behind the distant mountains, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, a long, mournful howl carried across the prairie. Anna and Storm, returning from their daily ride, froze in place. At the edge of the field, a pack of wolves appeared, their silver forms ghostly in the fading light. The adults on the farm grew fearful, reaching for weapons to protect their livestock and loved ones. But Storm stood his ground, placing himself between Anna and the potential threat. He whinnied loud and clear, a call of recognition that echoed across the open space. The alpha wolf, its eyes gleaming with intelligence, paused in its advance. Its gaze rested first on the horse, then on the small girl in the wheelchair behind him. For a brief, breathless moment, the world stood still. Anna's heart raced as understanding dawned. This was the same pack that had once freed Storm from certain death. To everyone's amazement, the wolves did not attack. They lingered at the edge of the field, silent and watchful, as if paying respect to an old friend. Then, as silently as they had appeared, they faded back into the lengthening shadows of twilight. The bond of mercy forged that day in the forest remained unbroken, a testament to the unexpected connections that can form between the most unlikely of creatures. From that day forward, Anna told every visitor to the farm the same story. Storm isn't just my horse, he is a miracle. He taught me that sometimes those we fear most can show the greatest mercy, and that, from the depths of misfortune, can come a friendship so extraordinary. No one would believe it if they hadn't seen it with their own eyes. As weeks turned to months and months to years, the sight of Storm and Anna together became a symbol of hope and resilience for all who witnessed it. When the evening sun sank low over the meadows, painting the world in soft, golden light, people would often see a brown Mustang pulling a little wheelchair cart across the fields. And there, seated proudly, was a young girl whose laughter rang out clear and joyous, mingling with the wind that streamed through her hair. In those moments, Anna was truly free at last, her dearest friend by her side. Their spirits united in a bond that transcended the limitations of the physical world. Their story spread far beyond the boundaries of their small town, inspiring others to look beyond appearances and find the extraordinary in the ordinary. Storm, once a wild and frightened creature, had become a gentle guardian, and Anna, once bound by the constraints of her wheelchair, had found a way to run with the wind. Together they proved that true freedom comes not from the ability to gallop across open plains, but from the love and trust shared. Between two souls who have found in each other a reason to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles that life may place in their path. As the years passed, Storm's coat may have grayed and Anna may have grown into a young woman, but their bond remained as strong as ever. They continued to inspire all who saw them, a living testament to the power of compassion, the strength of the human spirit, and the unexpected miracles that can occur when we open our hearts to the possibility of friendship in its purest form.